It's Mr. M, and it's time for math. And lately we've been working on adding and counting up to 20. And that's not much more than over 10. But I hope you're starting to see why this is important. Because once you get past the one-digit number, what's a digit? 0 to 9, when there's just one number symbol. And you get into 2 digits, when there's one symbol and another, like in a 10, there's a 1 and a 0, or 11, there's a 1 and a 1. Why we do that? Because that's how we do all the numbers above 9. You're starting to see why. So let's take an example. We know that, we did some problems yesterday, we know that when you add things to 10, when you add 10 to things, or you add something else to 10, it gets a little interesting, right? So for example, we know that if you have 3 and you add 10, you get what? 13. And we talked about why that's called 13. 13, 3 and 10. That's what it used to be called. And then they changed how it's said a little bit. It squished the words together a little to get 13. But let's take a look at why that is. When you have 3 and you add 10, you get 13. And why it's written that way. Let's take a look here. 10 plus 3. Alright? And you line these up above each other. It's important that we line the numbers up. So that, remember the 3 and the 0, that's called the ones column because that's counting ones. You remember what the 1 on the 10 means, right? The number 1 on the 10 means it's counting the number of tens. You have 10 of something, that's 1, 10. Just like we put the things in the box, like we had a tens box. You put 10 things in them, it's one box of 10 things. That's what that 1 means. It might still be a little confusing for you, but I'm hoping to clear that up today. But anyway, this is why it's important that we line the numbers up this way. The numbers have to line up to each other. See, that's a 0 and a 3. We can't add it up this way with the 1 over 3 because it won't work. Alright, so always do it like this. And we'll practice with that later on. But this is getting the columns right. See, the 0 and the 3, that's called a column. Columns, the numbers that go up and down. And the 1, well, there's nothing under the 1 except for the plus symbol. Here's what happens. Now, the 0, what does the number 0 stand for? The number 0 stands for nothing. So you might wonder, why do we have a number that means nothing? You are about to see why, and why the invention of the 0. The number 0 wasn't invented that long ago. And it was really important when it did. It made math so much easier for everybody. Here's why. Now, the 0 doesn't mean anything, right? Let's get rid of the plus sign for now. The 0 doesn't mean anything. So what would happen? So there's really nothing holding that over the 3. Let's put the two numbers together now. Do you see what happened? The 0 doesn't mean anything, so we can ignore it. The 10 is still there. The number 1 means the 110, and the 3 that we had is still there. And that's why we write it this way. 10 plus 3. It still says 10 plus 3. It's just that we've replaced the 0 with the 3 because 0 plus 3 is 3, right? And there we go. By the way, this is called the vertical equation, standard vertical equation. And it's used for a lot of math, and this is why. It makes it really easy. Let's try another one. Let's try 10 plus 5, or 5 plus 10. It's really the same thing. We're going to write it 10 plus 5 because that's easier to see here. So once again, 0 isn't anything, so the 0 plus 5 just adds up to 5, so we just drop that in place. Yep, 15. So now, let's try this. What if we have something in both of the tens column, the 10 column on both numbers? What does that look like? 10 plus 10. You remember what 10 plus 10 is, right? We're about to find out, and you're about to see why. So 0 plus 0 means nothing, and we drop it down and let the ones come together to make 1 plus 1 is 2, right? So, the 0 plus 0 is 0. 1 plus 1 is 2, so the 0 stays a 0, and the 1 plus 1 turned into 2, and we have what? 20. That is why 10 plus 10 equals 20. Now, even though this isn't what we're working on, we're only working on counting up to 20, I do want to show you why this is important, because it goes on past 20. What if we added 10 plus 20? What do we get? What do you think we'd get? Well, the 0 and the 0 add up to 0, and the 1 and the 2 add up to 3. 3, 0, what do you think that is? 10, 20, 30. This is how you write a 30, and that's why it's 3 tens. So you have 3 in the tens place, okay? Alright, I'm going to have a worksheet for you on this, and you're going to, the worksheet is going to be pretty simple. You're going to just try to, you don't even need to add the numbers, you're just going to write them, line them up in the vertical equation this way, right? So make sure the right numbers are lined up under each other. Okay? So see if you understand that, and I'll see you later.